Hello once again, welcome to Miriam's Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this bucket back here with a Japanese knot as well as spike stitch. Okay, so this is a very simple bag, okay, and the Japanese knot like this, or you can decide to pull the sides out, becomes more like a tote bag, okay, like that, with a square bottom. Okay, so for this bag you're going to need 5 stitch markers. You're also going to need a crochet hook. I used a 6mm crochet hook, a scissors. You're also going to need the yarn. I used my crane, which is about 3mm thick. This is the beige one and black one. You need 2 different colors for the spike stitch to come out nicely. You can choose any other color that you like, or any other type of yarn that you have. It just has to be thick. Okay, even t-shirt yarn can also do. Okay, so let's begin. So for the base we're going to do a magic circle and we're going to do a square base. Okay, so here is where we're going to do it. I wrap my yarn around my hand like that. Okay, so this is the yarn from the ball and this is my tail end. Okay, so I set and then I grab, okay, like that, and I'm going to do a slip knot like this. Okay, so this is my yarn from the ball and this is the magic circle here. Okay, so we're going to do 8 single crochets in this magic ring or magic circle. So you can hold the yarn whichever way you feel comfortable, or you can hold it like this. So I insert my hook, grab my yarn, pull through, then pull through both loops. That's 1 single crochet, another one, that's 2, that's 3, 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so this is my foundation round, and we're going to pull this tail end to reduce the gap here. Okay, like that. Okay, we can pull it later on, it's still fine. So now I want to move on to our round 1. Okay, so I want to generate 4 corners for the base. Okay, so what we're going to do is, here I have 8 single crochets. So in this stitch here I'm going to join with a slip stitch. Okay, to complete my round I'm going to join with a slip stitch like that. Okay, so this here is a slip stitch and we are not going to be crocheting in it. Okay, so to begin my next round I'm going to chain 1. Again, we will not be crocheting in these 2 stitches, the chain as well as the slip stitch. Okay, so my first stitch for the round is going to be in this same stitch with the chain. Okay, this one. Okay, so I do a single crochet in there like that. Okay, and then in this next stitch here I'm going to put 3 single crochets. That's 1, that's 2, and I'm going to put a stitch marker in the second one, in the second of the 3, and then I'm going to put the last single crochet in that stitch. Okay, so here we'll have this first stitch and then we have these 3 in the next stitch. Okay, in the next stitch we're going to put 1 single crochet like that. In the following stitch we're going to put 3 single crochets. That's 1, that's 2. So I'm going to put a stitch marker in the second to mark my second corner, and the third single crochet in that stitch, this one. Okay, now in this next stitch we're going to put 1 single crochet, and this one 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we have 3 corners. The next stitch, 1 single crochet. Okay, and then in this one, 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and the last one, 3. Okay, so if you are to count your stitches here, we have 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the stitch markers. Again, 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here, and here we have 1, 2, 3. So you'll find that this is the slip stitch that we joined the last and the first stitch in the previous round, and this is the chain 1, this one. So this is the chain and this is the slip stitch, and we do not crochet into those, so I'm going to skip them. And this is my first stitch of the round, so I'm going to set my hook there and join with another slip stitch. Okay, so don't let this stitch confuse you. It's a slip stitch and it doesn't count as a stitch. Okay, so you find that we have 1, and then this one, 2 and 3. Okay, so now let's move on to the second round. So we're going to chain 1. Okay, and then in that same stitch here with the chain 1, this one in the base, I'm going to set my hook and put 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, 1 single crochet. So in each stitch with a stitch marker, we're going to be putting 3 single crochets, and then put back the stitch marker in the second. That's 1, that's 2. So I put back my stitch marker in the second stitch, and then that's 3. Okay, so here we don't have stitch markers, so I'm going to put 1 single crochet in each. 1, 1, 1. Okay, now we've reached another stitch mark here. I'm going to put 3 single crochets. That's 1, again 2, and then put back the stitch marker in the second, and then 3. Okay, now we're here, no stitch markers, therefore 1 stitch, 1 single crochet in each. Okay, 1 single crochet in each stitch which doesn't have a stitch marker. Now we've reached another stitch marker. Again, we put 3 single crochets in that one. That's 1, 2, put back the stitch marker in the second of the 3, and then the third. Okay, now we don't have stitch markers. Okay, so you can also use this method to crochet a coaster, a square coaster. Okay, put back our stitch marker. Okay, so now this is the last stitch. This is the slip stitch, and this is the chain 1. Okay, the last stitch of the round, slip stitch, chain 1. So I'm going to put 1 single crochet in this one, and then skip the slip stitch as well as the chain 1 and join into the first stitch, of the round with a slip stitch. Okay, like that. So you just have to make sure that the stitches in between the stitch markers are equal. Okay, let's just confirm that. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is our second round. So we're going to continue repeating our second round up until we have 8 rounds. Okay, so this is foundation, round 1, round 2. So we're going to repeat round 2, what we did exactly in round 2 up until we reach round 8. Okay, so let's repeat round 2 up until we have round 8. Okay, at round 8 you should have about 72, actually you should have 72 stitches. Okay, back. So we now have 8 rounds, and right round here we have 72 stitches. Okay, so now we want to remove the stitch markers. Okay, I'm just going to remove them. We no longer need them, but we're going to remain with one stitch marker, which is going to mark the starting point. Okay, so here I have joined with a slip stitch. So in this slip stitch here, this is going to be my first stitch. Okay, so put the stitch marker into the slip stitch. Okay, like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do slip stitch right round up until we're back here. Okay, so we've already done the slip stitch in the first stitch, so I'm going to do in the following, yarn over, pull through and pull through again into the next. Okay, so this is my slip stitch. Okay, okay, like that. So just continue with slip stitch right round, and let's meet just before the stitch marker. Okay, so I've done slip stitch right round. Okay, that's one. You'll find that here at the edges we have 1, 2, 3 loops. Okay, so now we have the stitch marker into this stitch. This is now our first stitch, and this one is my last stitch. So now we want to begin to increase the height of the bag. We're done with the base. Okay, so what we're going to do is we want to do single crochet. So our first round going up, so this becomes the inside and this one is the outside. Okay, so here, okay, we have this loop and this one and this one. So I'm going to do my single crochet into the last loop, this one. Okay, and this is going to be my first stitch, so I'm just going to put my stitch marker in there. Okay, now I'm going to continue in the top loop, okay, with the single crochet like that, into the next single crochet. Okay, like this, one single crochet in each stitch right round. Okay, like this. So I'm just going to continue with one single crochet in each stitch right round up until I'm back here. Okay, so I've just finished the first round of the sides of the bag, and this is how it looks like. We have sort of like a ridge here at the bottom, and this is my first round. Okay, so it's right round. Now we're back at the starting point. Okay, this is my first stitch. Okay, so for round 2, I'm going to insert my hook below the top 2 loops. Okay, the normal way we insert when we do single crochet. Okay, so we're now going to be inserting our hook below these 2 loops or at the top of the stitch. So we're just going to do single crochet. Okay, like that. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with this single crochet for this round and then do 2 more rounds repeating this one. Okay, So this is round 2. I'm going to do round 3 and 4, repeating this round that I'm just doing. Okay, so let's just do round 2 single crochet, round 3 single crochet, and then round 4 single crochet, and then come back. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that we are no longer joining our last stitch with our first with slip stitch. We're just going to continue. This is the end of round 2, so I'm just going to continue with single crochet. Okay, I just did single crochet in the last stitch, so in the first stitch here I just do my single crochet and then just put back my stitch marker. Our stitch marker is going to be the one that is going to be showing us the starting point. Okay, so let's repeat this round 2 more times. That is, we're going to do round 3 and round 4 and then come back. Okay, so welcome back. I've just done 1 2 3 4, and this is the last stitch of the 4th round. So here I want us to change the color to this beige color here. So I've just inserted my hook and grabbed the yarn and pulled through, but we're going to yarn over using the brown one. Okay, like that. Okay, so now I want to introduce the spike stitch. Okay, so this is my first stitch here. So I'm going to put 1 single crochet in the first stitch like that, and then put back my stitch mark here. Okay, so in the next stitch, this one, instead of inserting my hook here, I'm going to go around below. Okay, so I was supposed to put my crochet hook in here, but I'm going to go directly around below and insert the yarn over and pull through. Okay, like that. So to the next one, instead of inserting my hook here, I go 2 rounds below. So instead of this one, I'm going to put in here, yarn over and then pull through like that. Okay, now we move on to the next one, this one. So instead of putting it here, 1 2 3. Okay, and yarn over. Okay, so this is going to be our spike stitch. Okay, so we have 1 2 3 4. Again, I begin the sequence, single crochet there. Instead of putting it in here, I put it down 1 row down below. Okay, like that. In the next one, instead of putting it in here, I count 1 and then 2 into this one. Okay, again, instead of putting it through here, I count 1 2 3 4. So just pull it so that it is at the same level as the other stitches. Okay, again I begin the sequence. Instead of putting my hook through here, I'm going to put it round 1 round below. Okay, in the next, instead of putting it through here or through here, I put it 2 rounds below. Okay, so this is just the general spike stitch. And then here, instead of putting in here 2 3, put it through this one. Okay, so it should come out like this. Okay, so let me just do it one more time, like that, and then one, and this one. Okay, and then instead of this one, 1, 2, okay, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so this is our spike stitch. So I'm just going to continue right round up until I'm back here at the starting point. Okay, welcome back. So this is my 5th round, and this is how the spike stitch looks like. Okay, so now what we're going to do is for round 6, 7, and 8, we're just going to do single crochet using this beige color here. Okay, so I'm just going to remove my stitch marker from the first stitch and do a single crochet in that, and then put it back. Okay, then I'm going to continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch, okay, for the next 3 rounds, and then come back. Okay, like that. So I'm just going to continue with this color and do single crochet right round, 1, 2, and then 3, and then come back. So I've just finished the 3 rounds of single crochet using the beige color. So now I want to introduce the black color. We're going to introduce it in the last stitch, okay, like we did previously. Okay, like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to crochet 4 rounds of single crochet using the black color. Okay, we're just going to be doing the spike stitch using the beige color, but not the black color. Okay, so here I'm just going to be putting 1 single crochet in each stitch for 4 rounds. Okay, like that. 1 single crochet in each stitch. Okay, okay, so I'm going to do this round and 3 more rounds of single crochet and then come back. Okay, so I've just completed the 4 rounds of single crochet using the black color. So what we're going to do now is from round 13 up to round 20, we're going to repeat what we did from round 5 up to round 12. Okay, so we're just going to repeat this portion as well as this portion and then come back. Okay, so I've just completed round 13 up to round 20. So now what we want to do is I've just changed the color here. I want to do 1 round of the spike stitch here. Okay, just 1 round using the beige color. We just want to finish our bag, so I'm going to do the spike stitch in this 21st row round. Okay, so this is round 21, so I'm going to do the spike stitch. Okay, okay, so I'm just going to continue with the spike stitch and then come back. Welcome back. So I've just finished the 1 round of the spike stitch. So now I want to do the last round but with black, and then we put the handles. Okay, so I'm going to change this color back to black. Okay, this is my last stitch, so I'm going to take black here. Okay, like that. So I'm just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch for this round, and then we put the handles. Okay, so this is round 22. So I'm just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch and then come back to put the handles. Okay, also when changing the colors, you may choose to cut, but you have trouble in fastening it off, but you can just leave it, and then when you want to change the color, just pick it up from where you left it. Okay, so it just depends with what you want. The easier way is just leave it, and then pick it when it's time for you to change the color. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with this round and then come back. Welcome back. So I've just laid flat my bag, okay, without the corners, and this is how it would look like. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to put the stitch markers. So let me fold it back into 4 sides. Okay, so this is the shape of our bag. Okay, with 4 corners, it looks like this. Okay, so I've just folded these ones inside, and then the other 2 sides are out, this one and this one, and this is the starting point. Okay, so this is my last stitch here. So you're going to put stitch markers in stitch number 22, this one, beginning from the first stitch here. You count 22 stitches. Okay, so a stitch marker in stitch number 22, and then another stitch marker in stitch number 29, and then you turn your bag, another stitch marker in stitch number 58, and then in stitch number 65. Okay, we have a total of 72 stitches. Okay, so I'll repeat again. Sorry, we have a stitch marker in the first stitch, this one. This is stitch number 1. Okay, we don't want that one. So this is stitch number 22, number 29, number 58, and number 65. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so now we want to crochet the handles. So beginning from the first stitch, I'm going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch, and I'm going to put back my stitch marker there up until I reach the first stitch marker for our handle. Okay, okay, so this is our first stitch marker. Sorry. Okay, so continue with single crochet. Okay, so now we've reached the first stitch marker, and we are going to crochet 1 single crochet in that stitch. Okay, this one with the stitch marker. Okay, I'm going to insert my hook there, and then I'm going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then I'm going to skip these stitches and join in the stitch with the stitch marker. Like that. Okay, so that's the shorter handle there. So I'm going to continue with single crochet up until I reach the next stitch marker. Okay, so I'm just going to continue, and let's meet here. Okay, so now I'm at the next stitch marker, this one. So I'm going to single crochet in that stitch. Okay, okay, and I'm going to chain 40 for the longer handle. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to continue and then come back with a chain of 40. Okay, so I now have a chain of 40. If you want it to be a bit longer, it's still fine. You can just continue adding the chains. So I'm just going to let it remain at 40 here, and I'm going to join in the stitch with a stitch marker. With a single crochet. Okay, so that's our handle. So now I'm just going to continue up until I'm back at the starting point with one single crochet in each stitch. Okay, so now we have this longer handle, and then we have a shorter one the opposite side. Okay, so now what we want to do is, I'm just going to lay it flat like this. Okay, we want to do the last round, which is going to be slip stitch. Okay, so I'm going to do slip stitch beginning in the first stitch here. So with slip stitch, you insert your hook, grab your yarn, and then pull it like that. Okay, so I'm just going to put it back so that we know where we started, and then in the next one, slip stitch, up until I reach the first handle. Okay, this is my slip stitch here. Okay, now this is our first handle. Okay, so now in the handle we're going to do single crochet around the chains. Okay, so we're going to do it like this. Insert your hook and then do single crochet. Okay, and do single crochet. So just pull it together. Okay, so that there are no gaps in between the single crochets. Okay, so it should come out like this. Like that. Okay, so this is just for the short handle. The longer handle, we're going to do a different stitch. Okay, we want this one to be firm, very firm. That's why we did this one. Okay, so it should be aligned. Okay, so from here I continue with slip stitch. Okay, like that. Okay, so I'm just going to continue. Let's meet here the next handle. Okay, so we're now at the longer handle. So what we're going to do with this one, the chain, we're going to crochet it in the back bump of the chain. Okay, so this is our chain. Okay, the 2 loops here at the top, but we're going to turn it, okay, and we're going to crochet it into these back bumps here, okay, of the chain. And beginning in the first bump here, okay, hope it's visible, I'm going to do 1 single crochet in this one. Okay, so this is my first single crochet here. Just got these 2 V's, okay, these ones, 2 legs here, okay, and then the 2 loops at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook in the left V, okay, and then insert in the next bump, which is this one. They're a bit small, so they can be a bit difficult to insert through. Yarn over and pull through so that I have 3 loops here. Yarn over all the loops, okay, like that. So you can see I have this leg here, and then I have this one, and then the 2 loops at the top. So I'm going to insert my hook into the left loop, okay, the loop at your left side, and then through the next bump, pull through. I have 3 loops here, yarn over all 3, okay, again, and this into the next bump, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops, the left leg, next bump, 3 loops, yarn over and pull through. So we have this kind of handle. Okay, it's a bit more firm as compared to just normal single crochet. Okay, okay, so I'm just going to continue and come back when the handle is done. Okay, so this is my handle. Okay, so I'm now here. I'm just going to continue with slip stitch. Okay, okay, so now I'm back at the starting point. So I'm just going to do 1 slip stitch here, and then cut. Okay, so I'm just going to fasten this off and then come back. Welcome back. So I've just finished fastening it off, and this is our bag. It's a bit big, okay, so it depends on how you want to carry it. But this handle, the bigger one, you insert it through the smaller one like that, so that it becomes a Japanese knot. If you want, you can pull this out so that it becomes like this. If you have a pin, you can place a pin here so that when you fold it, it doesn't stick out. Or you can just take short string and then tie here so that it doesn't unravel or it doesn't open up. But with this one, it is still sufficient. Okay, and this is the bottom. Okay, so this is our bag. If you have any questions, please do comment below. I'll be glad to reply. Thank you for watching Miriam's Crafts. Please do subscribe, like, comment for more videos. Thank you.